Hold on. Let's get
Sirocco in higher
right. Here we go. We'll get right to it in a second, but before we do that,
intro drop.
We gotta have the intro drop. There we go.
Welcome to Football and the Kitchen Sink. Get ready for in-depth conversation from the world of high school, college, and pro football. Plus some insight about the rest of the world. All this, along with some fun and humor along the way. Pull up a chair, grab a coffee or a beer, and join us. It's Football and the Kitchen Sink. Here are your hosts, Coach Schuman and Coach Depascale.
I mean, you can't get better than that.
I'd love to see somebody compete with our dynamite drop intro.
Yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying? I guess with the people, less traffic today, people watching us as opposed to the day when all hell was breaking loose.
Country was breaking loose. Yeah, all hell. Yeah.
So,
what are you gonna do?
I can't get you a discount on Dunkin'. They're not an official sponsor. I just drink their coffee. I'll
take like a how about like a Bic pens or some type of I love my office supplies, dude. So like let's get some of that or something. Like I'll take any of that.
Yeah.
I actually, one of the best Christmas presents ever is a $50 to Staples gift card every year. That's the way to go.
I made myself.
I can put some damage in that store, but yeah, man. Friday, right? So end of the week, crazy week. Got a lot going on this weekend with the Super Wild Card weekend leading into Monday night. The national championship going on. You got coaching carousel going on as always this time of year. Busy couple days in sports, no matter what.
Well, let's go to our BCS matchup, man. I mean, let's see Ohio State versus Bama, and what you think, and what do you think the matchup is, and who do you think has an advantage where? I mean, overall, who are you taking? I mean, are you gonna be willing to go against the Bama?
Absolutely not.
Engine?
No way. One, I'm a huge Nick Saban fan, so that's just the way I roll. And two, I have not liked Ohio State since they were given a national championship back in early 2000s against Miami. I will, and you can put this down, show number whatever, Coach D will forever be against Ohio State.
Wow.
Forever be against Ohio State.
As a whole, collectively, I'm just not an Ohio State guy, man. I don't think overall I'm a Big Ten guy, to be honest. I'm much more of and look, I'll be open and honest about my opinions or viewpoints. Like I'm an SEC guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like this. I like the speed aspect of it. I like
the most exciting.
I know my roots were a Big Ten type of world. As far as where I grew up, the type of football you
didn't grow up around Big Ten football. There was no Big Ten in this area when you grew up.
I guess that
was Penn State wasn't Big Ten, and
I couldn't even tell you. But I'm just saying that collectively across the board those types of schools. Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan State, Wisconsin, Illinois, like that whole.
Iowa. We got to get you some lighting.
I'm working on it, man. I'm working on it.
I
know there's a vast difference, and I'm starting to see it more and more. Like, I get it, all right? But you're a bigwig. You got your own studio. I'm still coming. I'm still an up-and-comer. You know what I mean?
I have my own studio.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm making moves to try to get us a place that we could do if you want to do in person.
I was actually going to bring that up to you, that I think we should start to look into that for at least once or twice a week to do in-person stuff or whatever. I mean, dude,
Yeah.
let's make it like John Gruden's QB whatever, where he just bought a space down in Tampa and decided to just do film work in there. What was it? I think it was the Football Coaches Fired Association or something. He created his own, that's awesome.
What was that? What was that?
Like when he was in between jobs after Tampa Bay, when he used to do all the meet with the quarterbacks one-on-one for film sessions.
That was an office.
That's literally like a storefront in a strip mall in Tampa. I've seen it because I've driven by it because I wanted to see what it was. He literally rented out a storefront, like a store, and just made it his studio so that he felt like he had somewhere to go and went to an office every day, and he would just go into his pseudo studio.
Wow, that's incredible.
I don't know if that'd be good or bad for us to have a place to go to talk just football and do that stuff. I'm pretty sure that we would have a couple cots set up there, and before you know, I'd be sleeping there. So I don't know. That might be a good or a bad thing.
Wow. So
all clear?
What's that?
I say you all clear? You good?
A lot of crazy things going on these days. Let me just put it to you like that. So,
I think every day is something new.
Something new and adventurous. Maybe sometimes
something
too
new
much
and
adventure.
impressive.
Yeah, maybe too much adventure. There's a little fine line between too much adventure. All right.
Where is that line? That is the question.
So there's your break. That's what you think of Ohio State. So let's go by side of the ball, though. Like, I think Alabama. I think Alabama's the better team. Okay, I'll put that first part to it. I wasn't that impressed with Clemson.
Before we get into anything, I want to say this. For as much as Alabama's been Alabama in these past however many years when they've been on this run, this is a very different Alabama team than we've seen before. Normally, Alabama teams that have won this thing in the past and have done this thing have been win with defense and ground and pound. We're now seeing Alabama teams that are averaging 50 points a game, and they're chucking this thing all over the yard.
Right.
I think going into that is something that's different about this Alabama team in comparison to the others.
I think that's what makes them potentially more lethal. So here's what I'm going to give you my surmise of what I think. And I honestly, to me on paper, Alabama's the better team. Quarterbacks are pretty close. Offense, running backs is pretty close. I mean, I think Ohio State's running back's more of a runner. Najee can do everything. Receiving core, Alabama is
especially if what's his name is going to play now, coming off injury.
Right, Waddle is it? And then
throw that guy in the mix. I mean, he was supposed to be better than the guy that just won the Heisman.
Yeah, and then
that just goes to show you like a factory.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you look at this.
The number 2 was the Heisman Trophy winner.
Alabama had the Heisman Trophy winner, the number 3 finalist, and the number 5 finalist.
All right, so quarterback, who would you give the edge to? I give it to Ohio State.
I'm giving it to Bama because I think he's banged up a little bit.
Well, that I don't know. I mean, it looked like he was banged up.
Amazing what a shot at halftime can do, huh?
Well, he's gonna get a shot at halftime again. Before the game.
I would assume that this guy's been getting shots pretty much all week. And is he going to be? Obviously, you're never going to know the full length of this injury. They'll never disclose it. You'll never really know it until after the game when they go back and say, "Oh, he battled through this. He battled through that." I don't care how many pain-killing injection shots or whatever you're going to take before this game. You take a good shot on that spot again. You know what I mean? Like, he's a dynamic guy as is. He's a runner and a thrower. You saw that in this past game, like, his ability to fight through pain. I get it. But now we're talking like this is set in for the week. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot. Will he be able to perform the same way with this injury? And I said it earlier in the week. If you're not Alabama and you're not trying to tee him up on that spot and put your helmet right there, I don't know what you're trying to do. I mean, I don't think that's dirty. I think that's part of the game. I don't think anybody will, I'm just going to go after this spot. You're still going to try and make a tackle. But if I can make a tackle where my head happens to hit that spot or my shoulder can hit that spot, let's go. But quarterback wise, just based off of the injury alone is the only thing I'm focusing on right now. That's where I give the edge to my man from Alabama.
I give the edge to Ohio State. I think how about running back, which is interesting because one is on fire from Ohio State and the other guy obviously
last week coming out party, I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And if you look at it, like I said, this injury, he's getting more touches.
Can Ohio State block the Alabama defensive lineman?
Always the question, and like I've said numerous times before, the difference as to why I feel the SEC is always superior to other conferences is
D-line.
The speed of the D-lines, the size, the athleticism, the things that those guys can do in comparison to what they see week in and week out against everybody else. I bet if you went back and looked at it, how many Alabama D linemen, are in the league. I bet you it's going to be more than most other teams. But like I said, this is a different Alabama team. You don't think defense first with this Alabama team,
Yeah. Let's see. Alabama. Willie Anderson, the linebacker, is a stud. Will their wide receiver be there? Waddle. It's close. I thought the D line for Ohio State played great against Clemson, and I thought their linebacker core played really good. I thought DBs were. I think the two areas where I think Alabama has an advantage is D-line, DB. And to me, both teams are going to score a lot of points. But if Alabama gets a couple of plays out of its D-line, then the DBs over Ohio State, then I think they have a really, really good chance to really take it to Ohio State. Now, the X factor.
Will this be a close game?
At the first half, definitely. I don't know what happens after that. X factor to me is the run game for Ohio State. If he can get on track and control the game, then I think you got 4-quarter game. Now, I predicted Clemson. I thought Clemson was going to win. So, Ryan Day has a hell of an offense, calls a hell of a game. Alabama is going to have Sarkisian, so there should be no issue there.
The whole staff's there.
Whole staff's there.
They won't be there after the game. I don't know if they're heading back to Tuscaloosa after the game or if,
Sark. Alabama, he might pick up 5 new analysts by the time the game starts. So.
Hey, I don't know if he's getting in a plane and, him and Kyle Flood are getting in one plane heading to Austin and the other guys are heading back to Tuscaloosa, but, it's going to be whatever.
I think it's going to be a good game first half. Alabama pulls away in the second half. That's kind of what I think. I think Ohio State's key for Ohio State is if
they got to control the ball.
Yeah, they got to control the ball. And if somehow they can get up by 2 scores, at any point, that's the way they got a chance.
You think
because
so?
that's the
Even
only.
for how explosive Alabama is?
That's the only way I think they have a chance. If it goes back and forth, like early on,
Yeah,
I
they're
think
not going
Alabama.
to. They can't. I don't think
Alabama's
they
going to
can.
be comfortable.
Right. Like I would compare, like they can't just sit there and fast break back and forth with Alabama. You can't go score for score. They're never going to match that. I don't think they can do that. Now, if for some reason Ohio State gets up, and I think they can just lean on, that back to give him the ball and control the ball and, first down, second down, third down, first down, and just keep going and progress down the field like that. I think they have a shot. But, even with that being said, Alabama is extremely explosive. I mean, statistics wise, I could only imagine how many big plays they've had throughout the year, explosive plays. And then, for me, it's going to come down,
Mississippi State beat Indiana. So this is what I look. It's interesting. Mississippi State beat Indiana. Mississippi State got railroaded by. They play Alabama. They got railroaded by a bunch of teams, though. Even though they had they scored a lot of points. Why do I have to get ESPN's? Okay, Kentucky beat NC State. Kentucky had a losing record. Ole Miss originally had a losing record. Texas A&M ran wild on North Carolina. That's an ACC team, although it ended up being closer than it really was. Ohio State was the outlier. They beat Clemson. Alabama throttled Notre Dame. They beat them 31-14. They could have scored 100. Northwestern beat Auburn. Northwestern beat Auburn. I would say that's a positive. Georgia beat Mississippi State won a bowl game. They had like a losing record.
Look at the SEC's record in bowl games. Just go off of that.
And they're probably not even like as pumped up as they would be for.
Like you saw it happen with Florida. SEC teams would much rather play in an SEC championship game than any other bowl game other than a big time bowl.
Now Florida got
embarrassed.
Yeah, they got embarrassed. Who did they play again? Who did Florida play again?
Who'd they just get throttled by?
Yeah.
Good question. Who? It wasn't Texas A&M.
Oh, Oklahoma. Okay. Oklahoma. Well, yeah. Okay. All right. So I look at it like this. The whole key is Ohio State's got to get up and create some separation that forces Alabama to press. That's the only way I see it happen. Now, as many championships as Alabama's won, they've
That's
probably
what I'm saying. Do they ever? That was my next question. Is does Alabama ever press?
I think they pressed when they lost to Clemson that one time. ESPN, by the way. I mean, come on with your ads, dude. No one's clicking on those ads.
It's Disney, man.
You're just yelling at me stuff. You're just yelling. You're just yelling stuff at me.
Disney? You don't want to go to Disney World?
Pay for us go to Disney World? Sure, I'll go to Disney World.
You could pay $20 for a turkey wing and whatever.
Yeah, I mean, anyway, well, so we both pick. I guess the long and the short of it is we both pick Alabama.
We're both picking Bama.
All right. It is amazing what lighting can do. By the way, you could actually see my whole face.
I don't know whether you're high. Just the whole. Your entire it's just different. Like mine looks blurry and old and all this kind of stuff.
And before mine looked more blurry than yours, right?
Maybe it's the lighting. I don't know. I got to make moves. Now I'm pressing. Like, let's get some space. Then we could turn into an office. We can go to somewhere every day for work. Like, pumped.
Sure, I'll just throw that money around. Woo!
That's what I'm saying. You're supposed to be this guy for now until eventually it flips the switch and I have to take care of you.
Well, that would be nice.
That's what I'm saying. You give me, 10, 15 years.
10, 15 years. There you go. 10, 15 years.
No, definitely not that. Dude, if we're talking 10, 15 years, Absolutely not.
How old will you be?
We've had a relationship for what? We've known each other for what?
How old will you be in 15 years? 50?
50.
I'll be.
Give or take.
Oh, I don't know how you get. I don't know. It's like opposite.
Yeah, you'll be up there. Troy will be in
high school. 15 years, he'll be college.
So he'll be working for us.
He won't be working for us.
No, we'll be working for him.
He'll be.
Hopefully, we'll be working for him.
At 20. Well, he'll be throwing. He'll be doing something. He'll be doing this. Oh, there we are on tour in Europe again, watching, or maybe he'll be doing that.
How about Wimbledon?
Hey, I ain't got
over there.
I'll go have a conversation with Mr. Krishna, the girls' tennis coach over at RBR, and ask him all the secrets.
He wins.
That's why I'm saying
Guy wins.
That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna ask him, but he coaches. I don't know if there's a difference in coaching tennis for girls. Like if there's different strategies, I really don't know enough.
Right.
Because the men hit harder, so on their serves. So I don't know if there's a different approach to it. I just know when I made it to the finals of the advanced tennis class, circa UConn 1994, was it, or 5?
Was that your 1 credit physical education requirement to graduate?
Yeah, I think I did beginner and advanced. I had to play a former UConn tennis player in the final, and I had a great serve, but I definitely was not experienced enough.
Why would I assume that you weren't great at it?
No, I wasn't great at tennis, but I mean, I had a cannon for a serve after playing all the time.
Never played it in my life or even attempted it.
So that's the only thing I could beat him. So occasionally I get like a serve by him, but if he returned that thing, I was in deep trouble because he'd had me running all over the place. I always had a heart attack. I was like, golly, how do you put the ball exactly where you want it?
How funny is that you were in football shape, but you couldn't run back and forth. But that's what I'm saying. Like, and you couldn't run back and forth.
I could, but he was wearing me out, man. Like, just.
But I'm just saying, like, that just, we always talk about the difference in, being in shape for certain sports. I mean, you would think if you're in shape, if you could play football, you'd be in shape to play tennis, right? No, not even the same.
I mean, the problem comes like when you get into the like that first set, I lost a couple of close points. Like I could have.
And I don't even understand the scoring. What is it like? 15,
what happened
30,
was
40?
15, 30, 40 set. But what happened was when you don't break the server, and once in a while, and if he breaks you, then what happens is you're up S Creek, especially against a guy where guys usually have good serves, so it's hard to
right.
It's hard to return it.
And you can only score points when you serve, correct?
No. No. You win a point, you get, so it goes 15 love, 15. Do you know what love means in tennis?
Nope.
That means 0. So 15 love means I have 15, you have 0.
I wonder why they call it that. Is that like the nice way of saying like?
I don't. It must go back to some sort of like something from the beginning of time. So
because they played tennis at the first ever Olympics, I'm sure.
I don't know.
Athens dominated Sparta in the first.
Well, all right. So let's go like this. So tennis started in the 12th century.
So that would make it the 1100s.
And yes, right, the 1100s. So
see, I always do that to people when you say that century, it refers to the number before it. Like that screws a lot of people up.
Like lawn tennis was a big deal. They still have it over, grass. Like that's what Wimbledon is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that used to be like a staple like thing for the higher echelon to do was to, go out back and have, a couple tennis matches or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, look, Wimbledon started. You ready? And that's why we call it, by the way, football in the kitchen sink. Okay. I mean, where else do you get this kind of stuff?
Yeah. Like who knew we were going to be on tennis?
Who bothers to go off in these tangents? 1877 Wimbledon, 1881 U.S. Open.
And the U.S. Open is still held right in Queens, right?
Yeah, that's Forest Hills. Forest Hills.
It's a nice spot when you drive by it heading to JFK.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I've ever gone.
I've done that numerous times.
Absolutely.
Pick up, drop off.
It's pretty interesting that it's been around. I wonder if it's been around longer than golf.
Well, golf is originally obviously was created in Scotland. So, you know what I mean? Like we're talking that. And that was my next thing is like, at what age do you and I start to play golf? Because I'm sure you've obviously partaken in certain golf things, but at what point do we really start dialing this thing up?
I don't think I'll ever dial it up.
No,
I played quite a bit, but
well, I mean,
I don't have the ability to like how guys can go. A lot of guys can do this. Just go and play, and like kind of have some beers, and just hang
out, relax, and be okay with doing shitty.
I'd
go out there and want to be like, let's play another 9.
Like it's a little frustrating for me.
I know my personality. It wouldn't be like that. It would be bad.
And then it gets to the point where I'm at like 9, and I'm like, you got 9 more, like,
right.
So, but 15 centuries when golf started, so that's interesting. So tennis has been around longer than golf. When did I wonder what the oldest sport is?
Well, it's not basketball.
Wrestling, maybe? The oldest. Oh, I'm right.
Yeah.
The oldest sport is wrestling. Oh, they say with the possible exception of athletics, which is track and field, because obviously people probably could run and race each other from the time they came out of the came into existence.
You don't really need much for that.
Yeah. I'm sure someone back in like 10,000 BC was like, I put line here and we put line down here and we'll all race each other.
Yeah. Like you see that animal carcass over there? Like, I want to eat it. You want to eat it. Let's see who can get to it first. Ready?
We race it. And then, we look at the sun and see how long it takes. Yeah. So, yeah, wrestling started wrestling dates back to 7,000 BC in Mongolia.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. And running 776 BC, it's recorded. Javelin throwing 708 BC. That makes a lot of sense. I'm shocked it wasn't an event earlier since there wasn't too many.
I wonder what they were throwing as far as what the javelins were made of.
I mean, were they tackling dinosaurs? They must have been using some sort of javelin back then.
Yeah, from like a bone. Well, if you think about javelin, it's kind of like throwing a spear, so they were probably really good at it to begin with. Some of those nomadic tribes that were just like, killing animals to survive. Like, hey, I can throw this spear that far. How far can you throw it? Like, hey.
Yeah, I think they were doing it anyway, informally since the beginning of time.
Right. And somebody was just like, yo, let's make this a sport.
Yeah, like this is a sport, man. Like, we'll measure it. We'll give out some like high fives. Right. Hockey was 600 BC and polo was 300
now that's
BC.
A sport, dude. Anybody who's ever treaded water, bro?
No way. That was not for me. So running, the oldest sports are wrestling, number 1, running, javelin throwing, polo, and hockey. That's interesting.
Look at hockey.
What's that? Hockey,
look
yeah,
at
I would have
hockey.
never thought that.
No, I don't
But if you think about it logically,
yeah, a stick, something in ice. Okay.
but yeah, like a stick, like you're stuck in the ice and you're freezing.
Yeah.
You're like, let's make this rock and just hit it around a little bit.
Right. Yeah, I mean, well, no, that's literally what it is. Like, hey, this pond is frozen or something, so what can we do with it? Okay, let's do this.
Pond, a pool or a pond? Pond would be
Pool,
good for you.
pond, whatever was there, that whatever was freaking frozen.
A pond would be good for you. You know what that's from?
What?
Caddyshack, my man.
Not
Caddyshack.
top 10.
You're not a fan, right?
Not a top 10.
It is 100% maybe number one, but the fact that you don't think it's a top 10, I just feel like you've been deprived as a child, and that like maybe I have to have a conversation with your dad. And
I put Uncle Buck above that.
Uncle Buck is not above Caddyshack. That is ridiculous.
You should have seen the post. I couldn't even get it through the door. Come on, man. Like if I had an uncle, if I walked downstairs and my uncle was making a pancake the size of the oven, you're telling that's not funny? That's hilarious.
I mean, yeah. It's hilarious.
He punches a clown who rolls up in a mouse car. He punches him in the nose. Like, come on, man.
Oh God! I'll give you a couple of Buck quotes. Here we go. Buck. Who's Cindy? Is the girl?
Cindy is the girl. Yeah.
That girl, right? Hey, I stopped smoking cigarettes.
Oh no!
Good.
Cindy is the mom.
The mom. Oh, good.
Yeah, I stopped smoking cigarettes. Now I'm on to cigars. Then I'm on to this. It's
yeah. Isn't that something? I'm on to cigars now. I'm on a 5-year plan. I eliminate cigarettes. Then I go to cigars. Then I go to pipes. Then I go to chewing tobacco. Then I'm on to nicotine gum.
I mean, one of the best scenes is the opening thing. He's like, he drops the plate. Oh, unbreakable. Then he goes to hit it. Boom. Ooh, whoops. We could do John Candy forever, but
he's
1994 he passed away. Can you believe that?
I can't believe it was 94.
Right?
God, he was great.
I just look at some of that stuff and I see, you know, I mean, sometimes, you know, when somebody passes away, like the impact or whatever, and then like you forget about it. And then before you know it, you're like, oh my goodness, like it's been this long since this person's, you know, passed away. Like, wow.
Yeah. That's really funny.
Like time just takes off.
I just remember these things. How about this one? He goes, how many times does the dog eat? Cindy goes, how many times do you think? I don't know, 4 or 5. She goes, he eats once a day. He's such a clown. I gotta
he's eating dry cereal and then he turns on the vacuum to vacuum it off his shirt.
Stupid shit. Yeah, he just really does dumb. See, Caddyshack, you'd have to be into like the
that world.
You'd have to kind of be into the irony, like so. You know, Chevy Chase is right.
Of course,
he plays Ty Webb, who's like the
golf pro.
Right. No, he's not the golf
pro or something, right?
He's like the best player in the club, but he doesn't care. He's like
like these guys all care. He doesn't care.
He's privileged, like, you know, like has all this money. So like he's got all this money. So he's with the caddy and he, you know, he's talking to him. He goes, you do drugs, Danny? He goes, you take drugs, Danny? He goes, all the time. He goes every day. He goes, good. Yeah. Like just the way he does it, like
because it's nonchalant, like he doesn't care.
Right, like he just doesn't care about anything.
And all these guys, that's all that matters to them.
Oh yeah, like everything's so well. Right. Everything's so serious, but not what's his name? Rodney Dangerfield. You know.
Right.
Rodney is so funny, man. Oh God.
Ladybugs.
There are so many things he says in that you could never say in a movie.
Here's the thing. I think I need to rewatch it.
You got to rewatch it. He comes into this is the funniest part. Please, people don't take offense. It's from a movie. It's hilarious. Okay, and if
you have to preface it with that, oh boy.
So the stereotype of this is going back to the early late 70s of Japanese when they come to America was that they were touristy, so businessmen, and they would take pictures of everything. So he comes, he pulls into the car, right? This is like the very first scene. Pulls into the car, he comes in, and he has this Japanese guy with him, and he goes. Japanese guy's taking pictures of everything. He goes, "Hey Wang, it's a parking lot." He's taking pictures
because he's taking pictures of the parking lot.
And then he comes in. He goes, "Hey Wang," this is a restricted club. Don't tell him you're Jewish. Japanese,
right? Like you can't say, yeah.
Like you can't say those things anymore. You can't say those things. It's just, but it's like when you watch it, like the irony. You know what it does, that movie? So when you watch that movie, if you really watch it close, that movie kind of exposes the. Right. It's not. I wouldn't go so far as say prejudice. What I would say is, it's not that they're
just overall general stereotypes that certain ways of people, certain ways that majority look at certain things. The majority,
how ridiculous the stereotypes are, right? How ridiculous the stereotypes are. So that was what's so great about it. When you're watching it, you realize how ridiculous these stereotypes are, and this exclusive club that didn't let probably anybody else other than white
lawyers,
Anglo-Saxon, And it's so funny. Like the name of the guy's boat is called that Rodney Dangerfield, who is Eastern European. Okay, his name is Al Chervik. He's Eastern European, and he's like supposed to be like this, supposed to be uneducated guy that makes all this money that bought his way into the club kind of thing. And when he's driving around his big boat, and then you got what's the guy from One Day at a Time? Ted, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, great comedian too. So he's supposed to be the in crowd Ted, right? And Judge Smales, and Judge Smales is christening his. They're christening his boat, and his wife's like, "I christened thee the Flying Wasp," like. Making fun of themselves, essentially, you know what I mean? Like white Anglo-Saxon. Right. It's so funny. So anyway, I think if you watch it a couple of times, and
I think I have to go back and see
the ironies, and like the ridiculousness of the different things is what I think makes it so funny. Anyway, that's my pitch for Caddyshack. I'm sure a lot of people feel, but you 100%, like you couldn't do a lot of those jokes anymore, and because I think too many people would take it serious. Like it's obviously it's humor, but they would take it so seriously, and
I also think that like a lot of this stuff, like if a certain individual is saying that joke, a lot of people automatically think that person feels that actual way about it. Like they're not just playing a part saying something, like that's actually how they feel, which is not true.
Right. No, it's literally a pure comedy. And there's all kinds of funny things. There's all kinds of making fun of themselves and stuff. But anyway, I think if you watch it, and but it is way before your time. So it's like if I watch, I don't know, I'm trying to think of something that I would watch that's maybe 15 years before that, like almost like the 60s. I don't even know. I don't know, Lenny Bruce,
Young Frankenstein,
Lenny Bruce, or Richard Pryor,
Right, Young Frankenstein with what's his name from?
Yeah, well, he was kind of my time. That's
what's his name? That was with Richard Pryor in a lot of movies.
Yes,
Willy Wonka.
Gene Wilder and Richard Pryor. His comedy show out of this world.
One of my all-time favorites.
Out of this world funny. Out of this world funny. Dave Chappelle, I used to think was out of this world funny.
Yeah, see, I was never really a fan.
What didn't you like?
I don't know. I really don't know. I'm more of a Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart's funny, very funny. Very funny. I think Kevin Hart's very funny. Kevin Hart's more G-rated.
Yeah.
Compared to Dave Chappelle. Like Dave
Compared
Chappelle.
To Richard Pryor, they're both G-rated.
Correct. Well, Dave Chappelle, during his show, was kind of pushing the envelope. That's when he went off, too, because he got like, he felt like he was taking it too far, I guess, maybe, and maybe hurting.
Like, I bet you if I went back and watched a lot of that stuff, like now, I think it would be.
You couldn't put that on TV anymore either. No way.
And that's not even in grand scheme. That's not even that long ago.
It's really not. And it's Chappelle's show. I remember watching it like in 2002, 3, 4, 5 in that time period.
Right.
maybe slightly after. I don't know. Really, really interesting stuff. Comedy. I mean, comedy is one of those things that like it kind of. I don't know. They should have some level of leeway.
Right. Like I feel like they should get a pass, but that's not how it works anymore.
No. Right. Within certain parameters, like
right. There are certain things that are never going to be funny.
Correct. But like, yeah, I mean, you like I said, the thing you watching Caddyshack, you couldn't do any of those. You couldn't do any of those. People would be standing outside picketing. And I guess times have changed, but but there are still some things that are classic. Like, dude, Rodney Dangerfield and Easy Money. Did you ever see that?
No.
Oh, you gotta see Easy Money. He's like a gambler, drinker. Like he's just out of his mind. And he's hilarious. He is hilarious. Rodney, John Candy. That was a whole like
era
run of like those kind of like comedians. What's his name from Chris Farley? Chris Farley was so funny. Oh, was he funny? Chris Farley.
Yeah, that was a life well cut short.
Like Jim Belushi is before my
right, and that was Chris Farley's idol.
Right.
And they both went down the same path and both left the same way.
It's tough. It's tough. You're a celebrity, and
there's easy access. Nobody's ever going to say no.
Say no, and he probably
you're never gonna be unless you want to. You'll never have to be alone if you don't want to be. In any retrospect.
Really young, 33.
Who? Yeah. Do you think about it? That was a year younger than me. Crazy. And was already where in his career after Tommy Boy, Black Sheep, SNL. But I mean, if you've seen any of the documentaries on him, it's a sad world. That comedy world, you think these guys are all funny, but they got their own stuff going on. Look at Robin Williams.
John Belushi, not Jim Belushi. Jim Belushi was his brother. John Belushi was the one that was
right. A lot of actors and a lot of comedians, man.
Jim Belushi was in a great high school movie. Oh, what was that movie? When he plays a principal. Not John Belushi, but Jim Belushi, the brother.
Is it a serious movie or?
I think it was more serious. Yeah, like was it called The Principal? That might have been what it was. You're right.
Yeah, he was also in Curly Sue.
You're right. He was in that.
He was the dad. Right. He kind of has like long hair.
The Principal. That's right.
Right, and he like goes into an inner city school, and the kids like literally like beat him.
Yeah, Lou Gossett Jr.'s in it with him.
No, that's a very good movie.
That is a very good movie. That was Jim Belushi. That's the brother. 87. Right. That was 87. Wow, low budget movie. Budget was $11 million, and it made. Where is it? I just saw it. Oh, here we go. Budget was $11 million. It grossed $19 million. Not a whopping success.
I'll take $19 million.
I mean, $19 million now is nothing.
I'd still take it.
I don't know what's your favorite John Candy movie?
Summer Rental.
Summer Rental. I'm curious what Summer Rental made. Caddyshack was 1980. Made. Cost them. You ready for this? Caddyshack cost them $6 million to make. They made $39 million from it. That's a good one.
Where was that set? That was supposed to be set where?
Connecticut, I think. Bushwood Country Club.
Right, but I mean, the general.
I think Connecticut, like Greenwich, like that Greenwich, Connecticut area. I'm pretty sure the way they talk, that's what it sounds like. Like we're like
in there,
something like that, or
You're driving through that area, you automatically know, right? Once you get there.
Yeah, because they talk about the what's that parkway that goes through Connecticut?
The Merritt?
Not the Merritt, the other one. I can't believe I forgot it. But let me see your movie here. Summer Rental, with that woman who's on all those kind of movies back then.
The wife?
She was like in all those kind of Summer Rental. Oh God. Oh, I told you. Did I tell you I was watching The Great Outdoors a couple of weeks ago?
It's another great one. It's between, for me, John Candy movies between one of those two, because Great Outdoors is hilarious too.
Summer Rental, $5 million, $5.7 million, made $24 million. It's not bad. I watched that movie when I was at summer camp, and it must have been a rainy day.
But a lot of his movies, you have to, obviously the movie makes more sense to you when you can relate to it in your personal life. So going on a summer vacation and having all of those things happen, like somebody has done that, and obviously that linked up with them. Anybody that's ever gone to the, for the Great Outdoors, if you've ever taken a trip and done that and had those experiences, which you've pseudo had when you went to, you referenced it when you went to Lake George that time. Like there are things like that you can relate to and be like, yeah, this stuff kind of happened.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Everything bad comes at me so great.
The other one that's funny is Armed and Dangerous.
Armed and Dangerous
with John Candy.
Oh, where they play like they
security guards.
Yeah, security guards of like money or something, right?
We got a little comment here.
Like a truck. Oh. Uncle Buck. Thank you, George. Yeah, we were just saying
what size coat do you think he had?
Uncle Buck was great.
Because you know how he had that big like trench coat type of thing, and he was a big dude. What size coat would have that? That thing was probably huge. It's like a comforter.
Uncle Buck. What's the movie where Candy dresses like
well, you got Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
The one where he dresses as like is Uncle Buck
Canadian
Bacon? No, that's the one when he does Canadian Bacon. I remember now when he does the that must have been the disguises are what is he, the detective? Is that Uncle Buck?
No,
that's who is what is it?
I don't know if I ever saw that.
It's so silly. Oh gosh.
I mean, his last major thing before he passed away was probably Cool Runnings with the Jamaican bobsled team.
That was okay.
It's a Disney-ish movie, but
it's more Disney-ish. It's more very PG-ish.
Right.
Who's Harry Crumb? Did you ever see that?
No.
That is so
I also
stupid.
thought he was
It's actually stupid. It's actually stupid, but it's funny because it's so stupid.
When he was in Splash.
Well, Splash was great. Splash, he's the brother. He's Tom Hanks' brother. He's like a dirty guy, right? He runs the business.
Right.
He's like a dirty guy.
He's a shady guy.
Yeah. Shady.
And she's also one of those 80s actresses that's in all of those roles.
Daryl Hannah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Daryl Hannah.
Yeah, I liked her in the movie.
She was in Wall Street. You
probably have never. I don't know if you've ever seen it. Called Roxanne with Steve Martin.
Oh yeah, I've seen it. Yeah. It's
when he's got the big nose. Yeah, it's a Shakespeare.
Yeah, Shakespeare.
It's hilarious. That movie's so. He's got the big. He just goes into the optometrist or the nose guy, whatever they're called, and he holds up the cards and he's like, "Oh,
Steve Martin, very underrated. Very underrated. My Blue Heaven. Three Amigos. My Blue Heaven. You ever see My Blue Heaven?
Nope.
Where he plays like a mobster.
The Jerk.
And, I can't believe you've never seen My Blue Heaven.
Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
Dirty Rotten.
He gets a lot of credit for his Father of the Brides. That did very well. He also hasn't aged where he's just looked that old for his entire life.
Yeah, My Blue Heaven.
He was in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. So, him and John Candy together.
Right, they were. Well, were they all Saturday Night Live guys at some point?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like Chevy Chase, Dan Aykroyd. What's his name? The other dude from your Caddyshack movie, the grounds crew guy, Bill Murray. This is where he got this. You know what another one? Parenthood.
You remember this? Oh, Parenthood is great.
Oat Crunchy. What do you think?
He plays these fuck you.
What is this one?
So I'll explain it to you right after this scene. It's hilarious.
He's really fine. Today I hope to make him my own mind. And
He changes the price on all the meat and then goes and buys all the meat.
Yep.
What's it called? My Blue Heaven?
Yes.
That's funny.
I always see when he gets the
That'll be 12.
The hairdo is a killer.
That'll be 12:36.
He basically steals everything. How great is that? Is that great? So the premise of that one is he is. Thanks, George. Yeah, I like the chiming in the movies here.
We could do movies for a minute.
For all day. He plays a guy that was a mobster.
Yeah, he looked like it.
Was put in witness protection because he turned. You understand? So he's witness protection.
It's another great movie.
He's in some remote town, you know what I'm saying, forced to lay low and live a door.
And meanwhile, he's going through doing all this stuff.
Right.
Another Tom Hanks comedy movie, The Burbs.
Yeah, I don't remember that one that well. Was that very good? Was it good?
Just like they just live in a cul-de-sac and they're all friends as neighbors, and some weird people move into town, and then it's just the whole what's going on with these people? It's hilarious.
Do you remember? Do you remember what show Tom Hanks was on? You wouldn't remember it, but do you know what show? He was on a sitcom before he was basically on anything else.
Couldn't tell you.
It was called Bosom Buddies.
Yeah.
Okay. Him and you. Do you ever watch Charles in Charge?
Nope.
That wasn't on Nick at Night when you were a kid.
Nope.
Well, anyway, he him and Billy, I think it was I can't think of the guy's name. Ames was his last name, but anyway, they were guys.
Isn't it crazy that Tom Hanks got his start like as a comedy guy?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, he was comedy. That's what he was.
And now then all of a sudden he's freaking Forrest Gump.
Yeah. He
think about some of his biggest roles where he grossed the most money were not comedy.
Right, because he switched to drama.
Right, and became Forrest Gump. He became,
Big was comedy.
Apollo 13, Castaway.
Big was comedy. Like he was in all kinds of early.
What was his transition?
I don't know. He was a comedian.
He was in Seattle.
That might be the transition because when he was in Bosom Buddies, they lived in an all-girls building, but they were guys, and they weren't allowed to live in a building with all. It wasn't allowed to be.
They dressed as women.
They dressed as women. That was basically.
Well, could you imagine doing a sitcom now with that as the foundation? No way.
They'd be like, people were like, well, yeah.
We'd have to get this okayed with everybody and make sure that
that would never be okay. Never be okay. I'm trying to think. What was his first? I wonder what his first. I think you might be right.
I mean, he did Big.
Yeah.
Where's the movie with the dog? Turner and Hooch? No.
Horrible movie. He did some bad ones too.
He did a movie. Well, I mean, you think about it. He did some,
Big was. Think about Pit. You ever see The Money Pit?
Yeah, I love that movie.
Great movie where they buy the house.
He's running down the stairs when they finally get the stairs.
Yeah, that movie was funny.
Think about he did the movie Philadelphia.
Bachelor Party. Yeah. Yes.
That movie was, as a kid watching Bachelor Party, I was like, I don't think I should be watching this.
Bachelor Party was, yes, right. You really weren't allowed to watch it as a kid.
No.
You're right. So let's see. His first serious movie was.
I mean, the guy is the voice of Woody from Toy Story, dude. Think about how much, how much money is from being that voice.
And you're right. She was in Seattle. Was the first serious. Then Philadelphia.
Because listen, Philadelphia was, I mean, damn. You know what I'm saying? Like playing that role, the story itself, and then, to take that on if you're hiring or casting for that movie, what the hell? Talk about taking a risk with Tom Hanks. You know what I mean? I'm sure he wasn't the first.
He had just did Sleepers in Seattle though before.
But still though, think about it. Like you're telling me that guy was your first choice for a role like that?
He crushed the '90s, dude. He crushed it. Here's the movies that he had that in.
Well, hang on before you go. You want to know what my favorite role for him is out of all of them?
What?
A League of Their Own.
Oh, I was just gonna say, League of Their Own was the first big one.
Dude, that movie.
That's comedy. He's a comedian in that.
Right, but I just love that. I just think that movie is
great movie.
Rosie O'Donnell. You got Madonna in there.
How about this? My principal at Saddlebrook High School, Jane Moffitt, God rest her soul. She passed away a little while ago.
You played in that league?
She played in that league. She would never tell you. She would never tell you because she was like, obviously it was different times. She was so tough. Like if you messed up, like she didn't like you to mess up. She didn't want anyone to know she was like actually an athlete. I felt like sometimes she may have went over the top to like go the other way. You know what I mean? But she was
like people thought she was weaker because she was an athlete. But
she was an athlete before any women were really. She was in a league of their one of those teams in a league of their own. She played pro baseball. She was a heptathlete who qualified for the Olympic trials in the heptathlon.
What's that?
It's a track and field, 7 events. It's like the decathlon for girls.
Yeah, but I'm saying I wanted to know why, like the events.
Yeah, events are like the hurdles, the 200 shot put, long jump, 800,
So it's the real deal ones.
shot put. Did I say that already?
Oh, breaking news! Hit the thing. Hit the thing.
What? Breaking news? Okay.
Hit the drop. Give me a drop.
Okay, hold on. Let me. This is like studio on demand we got over here. Breaking news. Breaking news. Hold on. We get you your drop.
Hopefully in 2 years we can look back at this and be like, look at these original episodes. Oh
breaking news. Here we go.
Football in the kitchen sink.
Breaking news. What do we got?
Breaking news from your Dallas Cowboys have fired coordinator Mike Nolan.
Was that the guy from
and defensive line coach Jim Tomsula. So both are gone. So send in your resume.
Yes. Yeah, all right, there you go. You're hired, Dave. Okay. I got to bring Derek with me. All right. Derek,
yeah, I can be your personal DA. I know, there's so many. If you got that call, would you go?
If I got the call to be the OC in the Dallas Cowboys, is that what you're asking me?
No. If you got the call to be hired in some capacity for the Dallas Cowboys, would you go?
What capacity? Coaching?
You tell me. You tell me. Like I'm saying, like a let's say not a position coach, but let's say, I don't know, maybe director of scouting. Would you even ask what number you're going to pay me, or are you gone?
So director of scouting is a pretty high position.
All right. Well, I want to know if it's something that, do you ask, what are you paying me? Or do you just say, this is a position in football with the Cowboys, I'm gone?
No, because some of the positions are like you're never climbing out of. So
okay,
depends on what the position is. But if it was director of scouting, I think you know the answer to that.
It gives you a reason to go to Texas.
I would hate to if that happened, but I mean, there's something like it's just high school. You're not going to get paid enough, even though you'd like to stay.
What's crazy is that in some capacities, because I'm sure you've been asked, I've been asked, you guys love coaching so much. Why don't you go coach college? A lot of people don't understand that unless you're at that higher echelon of whatever, we make more as high school coaches and high school teachers than you would as a college football coach.
Well, college also you got to think about lifestyle. So
stability.
So like that's what I say. Like it depends on what position. So if it was director of scouting for the Cowboys, yeah, that's a big position. It's going to lead to other things. If it's hey, you're like an assistant scout.
What about if the Winnipeg Blue Bombers call you? Are you going?
I know a guy from all those teams from being an agent.
Would you ever consider going to Canada?
If they called me for what? That's again. What are they calling me for?
Offensive coordinator.
I'd have to think pretty hard about you probably doing it. Yes.
Really?
Yeah, offensive coordinator in Canada. Yeah.
I'm saying you'd have to think about whether you would take it or not.
Well, I would discuss anything with my family before I make any decision.
Of course, but I'm just saying, I would have to discuss it too.
That's a great opportunity. Yes.
Sorry, Jen, but we're heading to Montreal.
You're probably going. Yeah. I'd say you're probably going.
Yeah.
If now the scout, like I know a couple of guys that are like, I don't know what they get paid. Now, I'm sure the coaches get paid decently. I don't know what the scouting guys get paid because they run a lot of camps and stuff.
And that's what I'm saying. I wonder what does that entail?
Well, like if you're like the head scout, just because I didn't know this from being an agent, this is basically what they do. They're recruiting. They're looking to figure out who they're going to draft and all that stuff, and the Canadian players, and then all those kind of things.
We're talking about scouting in a Canadian Football League or in the NFL?
Canadian. But what they do is they run these camps. Oh, you just went on mute for some. Oh
No, yeah, I'm doing that.
Oh yeah, because you got.
I got a couple visitors. Come here. You want to be on a show? No. Okay. Nope, not happening.
Not ready yet. Not ready.
It's not.
Uh,
Come here, Harp.
No, I want to my hand.
Say hi. Say hi to the viewers.
hello.
Say hey, Coach.
No.
Oh! All right. I lose. Harp, say hi. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, you're gonna be shy now?
Yeah, like this one that
yeah,
never
right.
stops talking, and now all of a sudden wants to be shy. Oh, it's all over.
Say in a funny face. Hello.
Buried. Not happening, but whatever. Yeah. Yeah.
Hello.
Well, she's definitely not like her mom, I'll tell you that much. Oh, she is.
Hi.
Hello.
From what most say, the real athlete in the family, but
Well,
listen, your sister's still got records too.
who mine? No, she has none. Good
Well.
athlete, but she doesn't have records. I have the records.
This one's got more records than me, I think. It is what it is. Right?
What? That's not for you, my man. Lucky for me, I get to be.
Yes, you're the guy in the Schuman household, but yeah, I don't know. Like so when you're talking NFL scouts, you know what I mean? Like obviously you have the draft, right? And obviously that stuff.
They grind. Those guys.
But like,
grind.
what do you? Yeah, like what is your? Are you going to college games throughout the year? Are you going to practices throughout the year? Like, what does that actually entail as far as being the head scout for an NFL team?
They do visit during certain time periods. I think there's designated times when they can go. I don't think they can just go. And but they've already visited the springtime, most of them, before a lot of their senior years or junior years.
Right. So spring ball is probably a big time for them.
They visit the school. They go around, yeah. And they sit down with the coach.
Like, I think that would be so cool.
Yeah, that's what they do.
So just, give me a car, give me an allowance, make sure my hotel is good in every place I'm going, and I'm hitting this school today, I'm hitting that school today, I'm hitting this school today, and just go.
A guy who was OC, I don't know where he is now. We're at Michigan State, but a guy who was OC for Red Bank with Giggs, the team that went to the finals.
Jack's team?
Yes. Their OC took a job with the Giants as like a scout. And then he took a job as a recruiting guy at Michigan State, but that whole staff
got let go.
Corey, what was Corey's last name?
I just think that's cool. I think that would be cool. Look, obviously it's a single man's lifestyle, just driving around from school to school.
A lot of some of those scouts, they've been scouts for like 20 years, the older guys.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They go to basically in the spring for combines. Their tour is like the draft all the way through the draft, you know what I'm saying? And then they go to all the pro days, obviously the combines.
Yeah, I mean that's your job.
And what happens is they're on like 1-year deals, a lot of them.
Right.
So
right.
And then they either get renewed or they get
or they just go try. Yeah, I mean that's interesting. Now, obviously, I think Canada's you got to put a little bit more work into it because doesn't Canada aren't they limited to the amount of Americans they can have on a roster?
Yeah, I think the most they can have on the field, offense and defense, is 11 out of the 22. I think it's something like that. I think
it's actually a rule. Like you have to be Canadian to play.
I think it was like 11 out of the 22, or I can't remember the exact number. Actually, this is probably something we could fact check. How many? How many
Like,
Americans?
Canada football has always interested me no matter what, just because it's the closest thing that you get to the NFL anywhere else. Or as far as another football league, you know what I mean? That kind of does it the same way. The fact that some of the rules are different is cool. I kind of started paying a lot more attention to it when I kind of got out of high school, and ultimately out of college a little bit more when I looked at, some of the guys, Drew Willie, who was a quarterback and graduated with me from Randolph High School, had a great career in the CFL after playing at Buffalo for a couple years in college, So, related to that, like, hey, this guy played again, we played in the same classes and stuff. Look at him. He's up in Canada doing some crazy stuff. Like, it always interested me.
I guess
Not to mention the other stuff, like some of the rules, you got the goalposts in the front. You can motion towards the line of scrimmage. I mean, that stuff itself is wild.
they have 12 guys on the field, I think.
Yeah. I mean, how do you play as a defensive back and a guy's running at you full speed with a 15-yard running head start? Like, hey, get in your back pedal. Like, you know what I mean? Like, techniques are so different.
So Canadians have 12 guys on the field. Oh, yeah. So they could have doubles with a fullback and a running back.
Right. Now, defensively, I have 12 guys as well, correct?
And they play like a 4-4-4.
That's what it's, yeah, like imagine having one extra guy on defense. Like, woo.
But they have one extra guy in offense.
And the field is wide.
It's wider. Definitely is wider. It's interesting.
I'll tell you what, if I'm running crossers on the goal line, I'm definitely using the goalpost.
I know, right? I'm trying to figure out how many U.S. players are allowed on a team.
Johnny Manziel.
They have 46 men on a roster. Teams allowed to have 21. The CFL team may dress up to 44 players composed of 21 nationals and 21 internationals and 3 quarterbacks. So half the team
Motion towards the line of scrimmage. Come get some.
Craziness. It's fast paced. 3 downs too. 3 downs.
Right. 3 downs to 10?
3 downs to get the first down, not 4.
But it's 10, right? 10-yard first downs?
Yep, that's why I throw so much. You
Yeah,
got
you
to
have to.
coming out chucking.
That's why when Ricky Williams went there back in the day, people were like, what are you doing? You're a running back in the CFL.
It's interesting. Wow.
Montreal Alouettes.
Alouettes. Alouette.
And I have been to Montreal. How interesting is that?
You have.
The one place I've ever been, one of the few I've been, Montreal.
I've never been to Montreal, actually.
8th grade AAU basketball tournament, brother.
Is that the only place in Canada you've ever been?
Yeah.
You never been to Toronto?
I want to go to Vancouver.
Oh, yeah. Niagara Falls?
Nope.
Windsor?
Nova Scotia? No.
No, I'd love to go to Nova Scotia.
You give me Greenland, Iceland, Nova Scotia, we're good. Give me a cruise that does that.
Do people live on Greenland? I don't think they have a huge population.
Iceland is gorgeous, I hear.
Greenland. Isn't there a movie about Greenland now? Greenland
I know it's
population. That whole gigantic island of Greenland.
Yeah, it's full of ice. It's not green.
No, you're right. 56,000 people live there.
Right. That's as many as are in Red Bank.
Wow, that whole gigantic place, 56,000 people?
The population of Brick is bigger than that.
That's crazy. Iceland has 348,000.
Yeah, it's a nice
You know what I
island.
looked up the other day? This is how whacked I am. I looked up. You ever see that commercial where it's like a Allstate? Maybe, I don't know. I think it's Allstate, where they're like on this island. The guy gets the bread, and everybody's all nice to him. And then he's driving around. He gets his coffee. You ever see that commercial?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And it's like this little tiny island. I looked it up. It's a real place. And they have like, I don't know, like 50 people that live there or 50 homes or something. I even went and looked on the real estate of it and how much it would cost. It's like in Norway or something.
Yeah, well, listen, I've been watching on Disney Plus, the National Geographic channel. They have Europe from Above. Good series, man. Good series.
Europe from above mean from space, you mean?
No, like from drones and things and helicopters flying above all of these European countries and just exploring specific things about them. I think they did the UK, I think Italy. They did Italy, Germany, the Netherlands, Poland, and Spain. I think there was, because I think there was 6 countries. Man, it was awesome to watch. Obviously, as a history guy, I love that stuff. But the ins and the outs that they explored were just so interesting. I mean, after watching it, if you don't want to move to the Netherlands, something's wrong with you. You know what I mean? With all the tulips and all that kind of craziness stuff. I mean, Italy, you're talking about all the foods and stuff like that. Even the UK, when they were going in talking about stuff like, with Scotland and Northern Ireland and all that kind of stuff, like just so interesting. Just a little, but that stuff's that's my wheelhouse stuff. I got to get to Europe at some point.
Right. I don't know.
As a history guy, like Europe, it's history.
Europe's interesting, yeah. Yep.
I mean, you're talking about like, Venice, Italy, that's like, going to be no more because it's freaking going undersea,
Venice is going undersea.
But like stuff like that, like I just find that stuff interesting. It just, for me to travel is like it's huge.
All right, did we cover the All-Pro team yet, or that came out?
No, we have to talk about that. How many All-Pro teams are there? Because I thought I saw someone on the 6th team.
I think there's 2, but I don't know.
Maybe it was his 6th time. Bobby Wagner, linebacker for the Seahawks.
Well, I'll give you what we got. Okay, you ready? You tell me if you like it or not. All right, it's 50 panelists, media members, I guess.
How many players? Sorry. Oh, you're talking about who chooses it.
Yeah, Associated Press NFL All-Pro team selected by 50 media members. Okay, so this isn't the fans. First team.
No, these are like people that actually pay attention and know should know what they're talking about.
First team offense, Aaron Rodgers.
Yes, 100%.
Running back, Derrick Henry.
It has to be.
Tight end, Travis Kelce. Wide receiver, Devontae Adams, Stefan Diggs, Tyreek Hill.
Wow, Diggs.
From Buffalo, yeah.
I mean, look, like I said to you the other day, isn't it amazing how one guy can change so much?
You want me to go through NUC? Who's NUC guy that I know off the top of my head? You ready?
Yeah, just, as we go through, just hit it.
So quarterback Aaron Rodgers, no, he's too old.
Henry was.
Derrick Henry, yes. Travis Kelce, yes. Wide receiver, I don't remember. Devontae Adams, I'm not sure.
I feel like if any of those 3 would be Diggs.
Stefan Diggs, yes. David Bakari, I have to look it up. Jack Conklin.
Lineman?
Yeah, lineman. Jack Conklin.
You have to give me the lineman names, but with the team.
David Bakhtiari from Green Bay.
Center?
Left tackle. Jack Conklin, right tackle, Cleveland. Left guard, Quentin Nelson, Indianapolis. Yes. And you see. Right guard, Brandon Scherf, Washington. I don't remember. Center, Corey Lindsey, Green Bay. Green Bay has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on offense.
5 first-team All-Pros.
On offense, yeah. Edge rushers, T.J. Watt, Pittsburgh.
Brother.
Right. Myles Garrett, Cleveland. Aaron Donald.
Oh, God, I would hope Donald's on there.
Rams. DeForest Buckner, Indianapolis.
Okay.
Fred Warner.
Who was T.J. Watt, Donald, Buckner. Who was the 4th one?
Edge rushers are Watt and Garrett. Interior, Donald and
Garrett.
Buckner. Linebackers. Corners, San Francisco. Bobby Wagner, Seattle. Darius Leonard, Indianapolis.
Leonard, Wagner, and who was the other one?
Leonard.
No, Leonard. Leonard from San Fran.
Warner.
Where's he from?
San Fran.
Warner's San Fran. Leonard is Indy.
Cornerbacks Xavier Howard and Jalen from Miami.
Howard from the Dolphins, right?
Jalen Ramsey, NUC, from Los Angeles Rams. Then safeties are Tyrann Mathieu, KC.
Honey Badger.
Minka Fitzpatrick, Pittsburgh.
Oh, Jersey. 2 Jersey guys on that list. That
NUC also. Buda Baker, Arizona.
Buda Baker's like the hammer, right? He's just a hitter. Like they just say he's yeah. So Tyrann Mathieu, Minka. I like the Howard guy. I really do. The corner from the Dolphins. He had like 10 INTs, I think.
And special teams, Jason Sanders, place kicker, Miami. Jake Bailey, New England, punter. Cordarrelle Patterson, Chicago, kick returner. Gunnar Olszewski, punt returner from New England. Special teamer, George Odom, Indianapolis. Long snapper, Morgan Cox, Baltimore. Second team offense.
Who is the second team quarterback?
Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes.
That's huge. I love that. Love that Allen made that. He should be there, dude.
Running back, Alvin Kamara, New Orleans, NUC. Tight end is vacant. I don't know why. Oh, because they did more receivers. Wide receiver, DeAndre Hopkins.
Yes.
Jefferson, Calvin Ridley.
Jefferson, yes. Jefferson, I think, just broke Randy Moss's record for rookie something.
Calvin Ridley, Atlanta. DK Metcalf, Seattle. Cole Beasley.
That's got to be for number of catches.
Buffalo.
So you're talking. So you got Allen as the quarterback, Diggs on the first team, and then Beasley on the second team, and you can see why the Bills have gotten, where they are.
Right. Left
You know what I mean? You're
tackle.
putting guys on these teams, dude. Like,
Yes. Left tackle, Garrett Bowles, Denver. Right tackle, Ryan Ramczyk, New Orleans. Left guard, Joe Bitonio, Cleveland. Right guard, Wyatt Teller, Cleveland. Center, Ryan Kelly, Indianapolis. And Frank Ragnow of Detroit. Defense, Khalil Mack and Zadarius Smith. Zadarius is NUC. And then interior lineman Chris Jones, KC, and Cameron Hayward. Linebacker Devin White, NUC. Demario Davis, New Orleans. Devin White's from Tampa. Levante David, Tampa. Roquan Smith, I think he's NUC, Chicago. Cornerbacks, Jair Alexander and Tre'Davious White. Tre'Davious White's NUC. Safeties, Jamal Adams and Jesse Bates. Place kicker, Justin Tucker. Punter of Baltimore. Punter, Jack Fox, Detroit. Kick returner, Andre Roberts. Buffalo. Punt returner, Jakeem Grant. Miami special teamer, Matthew Slater. Long snapper, Nuke Rhodes. That's it. Pretty interesting.
now in your contract, do you have written in there, I get a bonus if I'm an All-Pro?
They usually have something like that.
Incentive bonuses?
Oh yeah, they have a bunch of incentive bonuses.
See, that's what I would.
Into the,
That's what I'm saying. I would, if I was a player, being the type of player I was, I would want as many of those as possible.
right.
Now, here's my thing. At that level, if you're going into that last game and you need 5 catches for $1 million bonus, do you make your coach aware of that, or is he already aware of that?
5 catches for what?
I need 5 catches to hit my bonus on this season. Coach, what can we do?
At the end of the year? Or
Like, you're going into this last game. You need 5 more catches to get a bonus.
Gotcha.
What do you do? Like how do
Right.
you handle that?
Right?
Pray, or can you say, Coach, can I get 7 targets?
No, you can't say that. I'm sure they do though. But
Can I go to my quarterback and say, bro, I need 5 catches?
I would say, hey, if somehow I get 5 catches, I get an XYZ bonus.
Right,
So,
and I will give you some of my bonus.
so
if
if
you
you're
give
playing
me,
well, it's like, hey, you can get
Give me
the
a-
ball.
like, give me a shuffle pass underneath so I can catch it and go, an Antonio Brown move. Thank you, Tom Brady. Because that's what happened this weekend.
But didn't Russell Wilson do something like that too?
I also, I've read a few things about certain things like that happening.
Had Michael Strahan get the sack, freaking throw.
Mhm.
Guy laid down for him.
Yeah, didn't Michael Strahan get the all-time sack record on Brett Favre because he fell down?
He dropped back and he tripped, and then he touched him. He said sack record.
Which has since been broken, I think, correct?
I don't know. I think
That was single season sacks, right?
when the Giants were actually good. Strahan had the sack record.
Oh, stop.
Let's see. Sack
He'll
record
be fine.
is he still has it, 22 and a half. 2 guys have been
In a season.
2 guys have been within a half of him, Jared Allen and and Justin Houston, but
Jared Allen, he's up for the he's in talks for the Hall of Fame this year. He's eligible.
The best, even though he didn't have the sack lead that many, only once was the sack leader, but the guy who got the best pressure of all time, can you name him? In your opinion?
Reggie White.
I thought Lawrence Taylor.
It's before my time.
Lawrence Taylor literally changed the game. The left tackle, when he broke Joe Theismann's leg, everybody's like, we need a left tackle. I mean, so the pass rushers back then, you had Lawrence Taylor, Reggie White, Chris Dolman, Derek Thomas. Great.
I remember Derek Thomas.
Mark Gastineau led the league twice. He had 19 and 22. Definitely was on the spice.
The New York Sack Exchange.
Sack Exchange. Can you name the guys on the New York Sack Exchange? Without looking. Klecko, yes.
I don't know anybody else.
We just said Gastineau.
Yeah, I mean that's a given. I don't know the other ones.
There's 2 other guys.
I get it. I don't know who they are. I couldn't even give you
Marty Lyons.
Isn't he the announcer now, Marty Lyons?
Marty Lyons. And there was one other guy. I can't believe I forgot him. Marty Lyons, Gastineau, Klecko. Oh, I thought there was 4.
I would think. Didn't Klecko's son play?
Yeah, he was good for Temple.
And then I think he played with the Patriots.
I think he might have 2 sons. The New York Sack Exchange. Who was the 4th guy? The 4th
I don't know.
guy.
We're probably getting Jets fans all jacked up.
Here we go. I guess it was because they were the 3-4. So it was.
Oh.
So it was Gastineau, Klecko, Lyons. 81.
What year was that?
Originally, it was Gastineau, Klecko, Salam, and Lyons. That's the other guy, but nobody knows who he is. And then Kenny Neal replaced Salam, and then they went to the 3-4, which was Gastineau, Klecko, Lyons. So,
And they still never won a playoff game.
did they never? Do you know who their quarterback was back then?
No.
Man, Kenny O'Brien.
I don't know. I don't know anybody before Boomer Esiason.
I think was Richard Todd the quarterback before Kenny O'Brien.
Yeah, my old man just said that, Richard Todd.
Yeah, maybe Richard Todd was with the Sack Exchange. Richard Todd. Yeah, Richard Todd was there. I guess Kenny O'Brien came in right.
What year
at the
did Boomer Esiason go to the Jets?
He must have been the 90s. because Kenny O'Brien was a quarterback for a while after Richard Todd. They actually had some pretty good quarterbacks, the Jets. They didn't have bad quarterbacks.
Everything else around them was just horrible.
Kenny O'Brien played till
92.
So then that must have been when.
Then you had Boomer, Testaverde, Pennington.
Testaverde was good.
Yeah. But look at who he had.
The INT.
He had Keyshawn, Curtis Martin, Wayne Corbett.
He was 93 to 95, boom. And then I guess Vinny INT must have come in after him. You know what? I used to call him Vinny INT. Talks a lot of INTs. Vinny INT, he was with the Jets from 98 to 2003. Who was in between Boomer Esiason and Vinny Testaverde? That's what I wonder. He had some good years when he was with the Jets.
Who?
Vinny Testaverde.
I have to look at who he had. He had good dudes around him.
Who was after? Oh, was Pennington after? No, Pennington.
Yes.
No, Pennington was after Boomer. I mean, it was after
Testaverde.
After Testaverde. So who was before Testaverde and after Esiason?
No idea.
This is where we need our fans. Let's see. Jets starting quarterbacks. Here we go. All right. Man, Google's great. Okay. It might be corrupt, but it's still. Oh, they had. Oh God, yeah, they went through some struggles. Listen to these guys in between Boomer and Vinny.
The question is, will I know him?
No. Well, you might know the first guy because he's a coach now. Frank Reich, Neil O'Donnell.
Neil O'Donnell played against
Yeah, my dad played against him.
Neil O'Donnell, Glenn
He's
Foley.
a Madison guy. You know that, right?
Yeah, Glenn Foley.
Oh, Foley. And then you had.
He was there. Ray Lucas came in for like a couple.
Oh God! Don't even. I can't even. I almost can't listen to Rutgers games, but from him announcing, it is horrible.
He was a good player, Rutgers. Okay, so here you go. Guess who played against us? I played against him in junior football when he was at Harrison High. He was a Harrison kid.
Who? Ray Lucas.
Yeah, their Harrison's junior football team was unbelievable, and Ray Lucas was their quarterback. They were really good. They used to beat the crap out of us. It's funny because Harrison was so bad for so long, but they were good. Those teams were good. Kenny O'Brien.
So then it was Pennington after Testaverde.
Pennington and oh gosh, yeah.
Jay Feely or Jay Fiedler.
Pennington. Then I guess these guys must have been hurt because Brooks Bonger played for a little bit, but then he was terrible. Then Favre, Pennington, Favre for 1 year. Then good old Mark Sanchez for 4. Mark Sanchez,
he did what he had to do, bro. Handed the ball off, let them run the ball, and played defense. And they went to 2 AFC championships.
He's an announcer. Then Geno Smith for 2 years. Michael Vick for 3 games. Ryan Fitzpatrick. We had Fitzmagic.
For a year.
Then Josh McNown. And then Sam
For a year.
Sam Darnold.
And now poor Sam. Soon to be Justin Fields.
I think Richard Todd and Kenny O'Brien might have had the longest tenure of at quarterback.
Now go Giant quarterbacks post Phil Simms.
A lot of times. What?
Now go Giant quarterbacks post Phil Simms.
Giant starting QBs.
Right. Because Sims finished playing when? 93?
So Sims was till 90. the guy before Sims, Scott Bruner, was my insurance agent for a couple of years.
Let's hope he got you some stuff.
What's that?
Let's hope he helped you out.
I did at the time. Phil
Save
Sims,
you some money.
Phil Sims, Jeff Hostetler, back to Phil Sims, then Dave Brown,
That's who I remember.
then Danny Cannell.
Oh God, Danny Cannell. What that is? What Florida State?
Yep. Kent Grand served the year, and then Kerry Collins he was pretty good.
Super Bowl.
Then Kurt Warner for 1.
Oh God, that was they did him so dirty.
Then it switched to Eli midway through. Eli for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Forever.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 years, Eli.
And the longest steady starts, active players, starting game streak until they decided to sit him for a game.
Geno Smith.
No. For Geno Smith. Yep.
They got that guy fired.
Yep.
Y.A. Tittle played for the Giants. So did Fran Tarkenton.
Now, you want to really laugh?
Hmm.
Do the Cleveland Browns. Ha!
God, I can't even do that.
I'm pretty sure there's been over 20.
Brian Sipe.
Tim Couch.
Let's see. That until Baker Mayfield, this was a
The
death.
Rolodex.
Well,
You're talking Brady Quinn. You're talking just ridiculous.
From 1946 to 1955, they had Otto Graham, the great Otto Graham.
Right, but look at since Tim Couch was taken, what's that, like 1999?
Bernie Kosar for a long time.
That list has got to be ridiculous since Tim
They
Couch.
actually had a lot of stability for a long time. Brian Sipe, who was very good. Then a couple of guys in between. Then Bernie Kosar for a while. Then they had Vinny Testaverde. Then it started. This is when they came back from as an expansion team. Tim Couch, Doug Peterson, Tim Couch, Kelly Holcomb. I don't even know who that is.
I
Jeff
know the name.
Garcia.
Yeah, Jeff Garcia, San Francisco.
Jeff Garcia, Browns.
Yeah, but I'm saying like that's where he came from. Remember, he came after, he came right after Steve Young.
These forgettable names. Then you got Trent Dilfer, Charlie Fry,
Yep.
Derek Anderson, Brady Quinn, Colt McCoy, Brandon Whedon,
Yeah, Whedon from Oklahoma State.
Brian Hoyer,
Yes, bald dude. Now he backed up for the Patriots.
Josh McNown and Johnny Manziel, Cody Kessler, Deshaun Kaiser,
Notre Dame.
then Baker.
He did nothing.
Where's Deshaun Kaiser now?
Nowhere. I would be surprised if he's even in the league still.
He is on the practice squad for the Titans.
Just making money to be there.
And what about Terod? Terod played.
He was, remember, if a doctor didn't puncture his lung, he was supposed to be the starter for the Chargers this year.
That's right, he was, yeah.
Thanks, Doc.
Thanks, Doc.
Now I gave Justin Herbert a window, and I'll never see the field again.
Not there, at least.
No way.
He's
No
the
way.
first, him and Joe Hayden, first NUC stars.
Crazy.
Is that crazy? Still in the NFL. Shoot.
Pretty
That
good.
was 2005, he was in NUC. We used to say way back in the old days of the NUC, like 2010, 2009, everyone would be like, how many pros do you guys have? How many guys do you have? Like, wait, we still got kids matriculating. And then all of a sudden it was just hundreds and hundreds and thousands. Yeah, that's how it works, baby. So it works. Tommy Lasorda, RIP, great manager.
Ultimate
Won the
coach.
Olympics. Didn't he win the Olympics too? Or they won the bronze? No, he took college kids and they won the
And
bronze.
they won the title.
Did they win the whole thing?
I think I know he won a medal.
He definitely won a medal. It was like a big deal because he was the only one with college kids.
Right. Everybody else was like pros. Yeah, great manager, man. Rest in peace. But 93, good life.
Tommy Lasorda, the only manager of the World Series and Olympic champ. I guess they won.
Good for him.
Died in 93.
It's a nice little something to have on your resume.
It was. You're right. Like I remember as a kid, he was one of my. I actually was a Dodgers fan as a kid more than I was a Yankees fan, like I am more now.
Well, I feel like he was almost like the first pseudo, I don't want to say celebrity, but he was more in the limelight than other coaches. You know?
He was a celebrity. He was. Do you remember his pitch? You weren't alive yet, but do you know who his famous pitcher was? He used to throw all kinds of strikeouts. Your dad, your dad would remember his pitcher from the Dodgers, Fernando Valenzuela.
And he won a World Series, right?
Yes, probably with Fernando Valenzuela.
Yeah, definitely one of the first managers, coaches that I can remember as a kid.
Yeah, let's see. He won
Fiery dude.
in 2000. 73 years old. They tagged him to run to the Olympic team, a ragtag Olympic team, the first to include professional players, but none on Major League Baseball rosters. Okay, so when they would play Japan, they'd play like their pros. He won the World Series in 81 and 88. 81, he must have had Fernando Valenzuela as his pitcher. And then he took him, and then he won the gold medal back in the U.S. He said it was bigger. I tried to tell people I went over there, this is bigger than the World Series. People thought I was wacky.
Yeah, he was a little different.
I'll tell you this, that was a great story when they won the Olympics with all college kids versus pros, basically.
Right, because you're looking at it, it's like the miracle on ice. I mean, not to that.
Yeah, no, that's what they compare it to. That's
right.
Exactly what the article says. Because and he won the World Series twice. You know,
but 93 years old. I'll take it.
I wonder what happened to Fernando Valenzuela. How long?
Yeah, he's probably back in his country doing nothing. He's probably 375 pounds.
He used to throw strikes, man. He was good. He was out of shape. He's 60 now. Oh, he's from Mexico.
That's what I'm saying. He probably went home.
He played for. Listen to this. He played for 18 years. That's incredible.
Well, as a pitcher,
and
it's not like there were pitch counts back then.
His nickname was El Toro, the Bull.
And those guys were pitching 9 innings.
His career record 173 and 153, 2,074 strikeouts. Pretty good. Wow. Fernando. I remember when Fernando he was so famous. He used to throw so many strikeouts.
Right. Crazy.
Interesting. Anyway, what does he do now? Yeah, so let's see if you're right about that.
What?
He is a color commentator. 2017, Team Mexico. Purchased a Mexican baseball team. Doesn't seem like he does too much. Married a school teacher. His sons played in the major leagues. He had 4 children, 2 of his sons. Wow.
They come from good stock.
He's not big though. Like he's not like one of these pitchers that are you know what I'm saying? Like he's not a big man.
Right.
So he just had a cannon. I wonder what he does. He probably chills all day long, every day.
And if he wants to throw a pitching lesson, charges whatever, somebody pays it, and he's good for the week.
I don't even know if he charged. He must have made a lot of money.
Yeah, and then put that into the peso, and you're good.
Are you kidding me? Yeah, let's see. Any news on this guy? Nothing on Fernando.
No news might be good news.
Yeah, it means you're still alive.
Yeah, especially in Mexico. All right, brother.
All right, man. Hey, good show. That was fun.
We will talk.
I like talking
Another
movies.
week
It's
down.
like sports.
Big. We definitely should probably do something this weekend because we got some big games. We got 3 games tomorrow, 3 games Sunday, and then the big daddy of them all on Monday night.
Monday night. Yeah.
So. All right, man. I'll talk to you soon.
Later. Great job.
Signing off.
Oh, we'll go to the final part, which is our outro.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Football and the Kitchen Sink with Coach Schuman and Coach Depascale. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. If you like what you heard, leave us a review and be sure to tell a friend. We will meet you back here next time on Football and the Kitchen Sink.